Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another anime review. And today I'll be sharing my thoughts on episode 15 of Digimon Ghost Game, which I have to say, 95% of this episode was amazing. It's just the ending again. It's like, oh, what the hell, man. So, of course, there's going to be spoilers in this review. I'd assume the people watching these videos at this point are following along watching the series with me. So, these videos, they're more or less discussions as well as partially reviews, I guess. I don't really give ratings or anything. I just tell you what I thought of each episode and give the synopsis. But I really enjoyed this one. I thought the Monster of the Week Villainous Digimon, Felismon, was amazing. We finally got to see the Digivolution or evolution of Angoramon. I mean, it took you long enough, bro. There were plenty of other instances where Angoramon could have digivolved too, like the solo episodes focusing on him. But finally, Digivolve's here, and then we get an epic showdown at the end with the three Digimon in their champion stages battling Felismon. So that was pretty cool. But again, the ending, which I'll talk about in a minute. So again, it starts out with the narrator and the hologram ghosts, and the NPC type character has the run-in with the Monster of the Week. Like I said, Felismon, who is an ultimate, by the way, and he's running the Mephisto's Fortuneteller Manor. And I think they call him Felismon with the subtitles here, but I think the rough translation actually is Mephistomon, which is pretty crazy. And he's pretty fucked up looking, dude. Let me show you a picture of him real quick, and then I'll get to more of my thoughts. But let's see. Right like that, right? Look at him. He looks like the fucking devil. So my guess is the people that are visiting him at Mephisto's Fortuneteller Manor are assuming that he's like a cosplayer and he's just, the fortune teller with his tarot cards. But what happens is he finds all his victims and he turns them into stone, into statues. And the little girl who's visiting him, here's the picture of her getting turned to stone. And really, they went all in with the horror elements in this episode. You've seen other episodes where they've had the horror elements and it's been quite scary. But this one, for real, I mean, the fact that it's Mephistomon, he looks like the devil. You see later when he takes off his outfit and you see him in his full Digimon form. He has horns, he has a tail, like a little devil tail, he has a pitchfork, his skin's all red, and on both sides of his head, it says 666, which if this was in the original Digimon anime, that would totally be censored, so you gotta love that they included that. So anyway, that happens, and actually Jellymon is out there wandering around by herself. I don't know why she's still doing that, because they sort of said we should stick together for our tamers after that episode. I think it was episode 13 with Gullis Galamon when they had the the German Digimon, the Executioner, going after everyone, and they said, oh, we shouldn't separate anymore. But Jellymon's still on her own, and she finds one of the statues, and she's like, wow, that's really realistic looking. And she decides to examine it, and I guess by touching it, because she's a Digimon, she can phase through the statue and figures out that it's a human, and she's like, oh no! And then she runs back home, and it's funny as hell because Jellymon's with Kiyoshiro, and he's having a panic attack, like, oh no, they're gonna turn me into a statue! And Galamon's there watching it, Galamon and Hiro are watching, and Galamon says something like, oh, Kiyo's having a fun time, and I guess that's his nickname, they call him Kiyo, so I'll call him that from now on. And I have to say, Kiyoshiro, he still definitely is my favorite of the tamers, followed by Hiro, and Rolly, she's just kind of there. I mean, I don't know what to say about her. Obviously, Hiro is the main character, but to me, Kiyoshiro and Jellymon, they're hilarious. I love how, he does his little scaredy cat thing, but he still steps up when he has to, so I love him for that. But anyway, Rolly decides to investigate what's going on, and her friends want to go visit the Fortuneteller Manor, but they don't know where exactly it's going to be, because it just appears at random. So Rolly, doing her research, gets together a map and figures out the previous locations and concludes that they're going in a circle, and that's how they can find the next Fortuneteller location, which I feel like they could have went even darker, and instead of making it a circle, it was the shape of a pentagram or something for Felismon. So they all decide to go there, and it's one at a time, and so they let the little girl in, one of Rolly's friends, because she's two little girls. So the one goes in, and Rolly decides to investigate on her own, and Angoramon is watching from a distance, just, in case he needs to make a move. So I'll show you some other stuff here. I got a million tabs open, which is pretty crazy. But there's that girl turning there. There's some other Digimon here. So here's Felismon. Like I said, he's the ultimate level. That's well, I'll show you more pictures of him later. But he has some sidekicks here. He has Fangmon, which is like this, wolf Digimon. Again, another champion type. And then Boogieymon, which are the champion versions of Felismon. Boogieymon digivolves into Felismon. And what happens is they go after the next girl, and Angoramon races in there, and he grabs, he gets in a forklift, racing in there. I was dying during this scene. I'm like, what the fuck is Angoramon doing? So he's racing in there to see if he can save the day. Let's see if we're not going to go that far. To see if he can save the day, and, makes his way in there and tries to save Rolly. And then there's a big battle with Angoramon fighting the Boogieymon, and all hell breaks loose, and we get a cameo here from Devimon, which I thought was pretty cool, because I don't think he's even the smaller version of Felismon, but he's like a villainous Digimon, digivolves into Devimon, and then I think eventually Myotismon. So it's pretty cool we got homage to that, because really the first main villain of the original Digimon series was Devimon, and then he turned into Devimon and was Myotismon's sidekick. So that was cool to see that. And so what happens is, Felismon takes off all his gear. This is him, taking off his fucking outfit. And you see he's got the horns that says 666 on the side. I mean, this guy truly is a frightening looking character. And like I said, he's an ultimate. So Angoramon digivolves into Simba Angoramon. And they have an epic showdown. There he is with the... And before that, Simba Angoramon dispatches the Boogieymon relatively easily. And the fact that it took him this long to digivolve could indicate maybe he's the strongest. I don't know, because in the original Digimon series, Patamon was the last to digivolve into Angemon, and he defeated Devimon. And then later on in the series, he was last to digivolve into Magna Angemon to defeat Piedmon. So you can put the two and two together and think, oh, maybe Angoramon really is the strongest of the champions. But then again, he's still going up against an ultimate. So he makes quick work of the Boogieymon, and they're getting ready to have their showdown here. And he uses this move called Demon Shout! And it's pretty, the way he says it, it's almost like he's like a rock band guy. Demon Shout! The way he screams it, I loved it. So he does that, and Angoramon does his attack, and they have a beam struggle. Alright? And then, as all that's going on, because, of course, Felismon is stronger. He is, just because he's a stage above him. So then it cuts to Gabumon on the fucking slide, because that's right, they transformed it into the digital world with the Digivice, and the cavalry's on their way. And then, of course, we've seen Gabumon and Jellymon digivolve, so the three of them are all in their champion forms now. We get this epic pose of them all standing together. I mean, how badass is that? They're all standing, I'm probably gonna make this a thumbnail, all stand together. And then what Felismon says is, oh, this could be quite complicated. There's tamers along with them. Well then, I can beat you, but I'm going to let you have this victory because I have more pressing matters. And yes, Felismon could have beat these fuckers because, like I said, he's a stage above them. They could have, the power of friendship nonsense because, I shouldn't say nonsense, but, the power of friendship, to will their Digimon in hell. Gabumon might have digivolved into Gullisgalamon again. I don't know. But the fact that Felismon concedes the fact that, okay, they're a little bit tougher now because they have tamers, but I am stronger and I could eventually beat them, but I'll concede defeat and leave because I have more dastardly plans. And he leaves! It's like, what the fuck? And then right before he leaves, Rolly's like, oh, I think you're forgetting something. And he snaps his finger, and because he has hundreds of these of his victims turned to stone, and they all turn back to normal. So it's like, what the fuck? It was really a great episode aside from the ending. All the dark themes, him being like a creepy looking bastard, Angoramon finally digivolved into Simba Angoramon, and then the three champions all standing strong. That was awesome. But the fact that Felismon is like, okay, I'm leaving, and then he just gives up because the thing is, he's manifested into the human world, but the Boogieymon were the invisible hologram things, and he said that the way that they'll get their true forms is by getting the fear from the people they're trying to stone. They mentioned something like that. But I don't know. And I was reading on because I always look at, the 4chan thread, and I look at what people are saying on Twitter. And some people are theorizing, well, certain Digimon are still roaming around in the digital world. You have Felismon and Boogieymon, right? You have Dracomon from early on in the series, Clockmon, Mummymon. What if they all form an alliance later? But, that sounds cool, but I don't want to get my hopes up because the way the series has gone, it's just Monster of the Week stuff. And then also, what if, because obviously we're going to see Gullus Galamon again. What if Gullus Galamon, digivolves and then doesn't revert back and causes harm? They should have done that when Gullus Galamon first got his Digivolution. He should have stayed like that for a few episodes. It would have had higher stakes, but they are still going for the Monster of the Week because the next episode has the tree Digimon in the preview. I forget his name, but I think he was from the original series as well. But overall, I really liked it, especially during the battle scene. Like they do the transformation music, and sometimes it just plays for 30 seconds when they do the transformation. But the theme was playing for the whole fight, and it was pretty epic. I really enjoyed the fight. It was great. But again, just the ending. I don't know, just kind of annoying when the whole episode is awesome and then you get a shitty ending like that. So those are my thoughts on the episode. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. And stay tuned for my review of episode 16 next week. And all sorts of other content coming this week. Tomorrow I have my review of Common America Volume 4. I'll have a fairy tale manga review at some point during the week. I may stream either Thursday or Friday. I haven't really decided yet, but I'm definitely going to stream on Saturday. And, all sorts of fun stuff. So thanks, guys. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.